Hello there, my crafty friends. It's Ashley Pfeiffer, the maker behind StampedAF. I wanted to show you a super cute card this week, but I wanted to do this because I thought this cat is the perfect cat to say, let's cheer you up. Now, funny story, you know how when you're trying to call a cat, it's like, pss, 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 pss. Well, I didn't know how you spell that, so it's more like, psst, I have a secret, like, come here, I have a secret. Let's cheer you up. So I will cut the talking and we will get our craft on. So there are quite a few things that we need to make this card, but if you are an avid Stampin' Up crafter, then you probably have this, or you might have something that you can substitute. So I am using the gorgeous Playful Pets DSP, and I want a piece. Now, when they're cut to 4x6, they go in this case. When they're 6x6, they stay out. And I need a piece of this that is wide enough for this little strip. And I have already gone ahead and cut out one of the cats, so we don't need to do that. Didn't mean to rhyme there, but so basically what we need is a 6x6 piece of this pattern, because it's got all the fun cat images on the front, and then it's got all of that text on the back. And that is what I used around the border of the card, and it was a little too stark when it was white. So I did use crumb cake. Now, on this card, I did some paper piecing in the back with just strips of cardstock. And I mean, we all have strips of cardstock, right? But I'm going to work in a little bit of crumb cake this time so that it brings in that border. Because right now I have cinnamon cider and it's not anywhere on the card other than this little piece and that little piece. So, I know I said I was going to stop talking, but chances are not good. And I have requested feedback to see if the sped up version or the real-time version is your preference. And it seems like real-time is, unless I'm doing something tedious or I'm doing it more than once, and in which case you like it sped up. So I will talk my way through this. I will try and edit out any of the barking or long pauses so that it is as short as it possibly can be. Okay, so you want to take a piece of that DSP and just fussy cut your cat. If you're not a cat person, there's also a grumpy dog. It's a Shih Tzu, and we have Shih Tzu, so I kind of get it. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to cut this to 4 inches by 5 1/4 so that it covers that same space. So the first thing I am going to do is do my sponge brayering without trying to bend my cat. I'm just going to move that out of the way. And we've got this strip that we can use on something else. You could bring a little strip of the DSP onto the inside so that it carries forward, because there really isn't a lot of this pattern that you can see. You could make it bigger. Using the stitched rectangles, and I think it is the 4th. Yes, it is the 4th smallest, or the 5th largest. Sometimes I wish they had numbers on them, but we'll set that aside and we will start working on the tags. So there are at least 2 tags that we need, and I'm using the hippo dies for that. And if you don't have this set of dies, OMG, my friends. Even if you never stamp or use the animals, these tags are just, they're worth their weight in gold. They're fantastic. Okay, so I need a piece of crumb cake, and we're going to die cut this piece. That is why I cut it horizontally, because I wanted it to fit my card base, but I also wanted to have enough to be able to do this. So you can move this around until you have the images that you want to be able to see. So let's have that little paw print in there. So there are those 2 tags. Now, Today, the day that this is being released, is Monday, August 3rd. And tomorrow, if you're watching this the day it goes live, is the day that the new mini catalog goes live. But it's also the day that demonstrators can pre-order the new full-size Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. It's a mouthful. So if you would like to get your hands on it, you can join my team if you live in Canada and add that to your starter kit. Become part of my StampedAF team. We have monthly meetings, we have creative challenges, a great Facebook group, and a wonderful team. And if that doesn't sell you, members of my team get my online class tutorials for free. So they get the Creativity Without Borders, get Pretty AF, access to Pretty AF, where we do weekly Facebook Lives, we have birthday club, we have creative challenges, just so many great things. The only thing my team does not get is Creativity Delivered, which is our monthly stamp club. You do have to participate in that one in order to get the perks. But if you have any questions, please do not hesitate to contact me. I'd love to welcome you to my team. Okay, so I do need a stitch circle. Although the circle didn't do a whole lot. Maybe we'll skip the circle and we'll just pop the cat up on there because the circle only covers more of the DSP. I'm going to score it at 5.5. And I'm going to cut it at 4 1/4. So this is your standard top folding card, but we are using it as a horizontal card. So the next step is you can use liquid glue, you can use Stampin' Seal, you can use whatever you'd like. I'm going to basically cover this with Stampin' Seal. And then stick to it repeatedly. And I will start in the middle with a strip of Flirty Flamingo and just work my way out. And what we can do next is with a scrap of early espresso, we're going to cut out our letters. So that is using the Pattern Play bundle. And it's awesome because we have multiples of letters. So we only have to make one run through for this. Now I know that when you're calling a cat, it's usually pss, pss, pss. There's no T on it, but this is kind of like a secret. If you don't want to fiddle with adhesive, you could use adhesive sheets here. I'm just going to glue mine on. So I wanted to give my background a little bit of texture. I'm using I believe it's the Tasteful Textures embossing folder. But like I said, all supplies will be listed in the description below. I just love this pattern, don't you? Okay, so this is just going to kind of fit in there. If you don't want to fuss with it, I would recommend using a separate piece of cardstock and not using that negative piece because it will be a little more finicky than just gluing it underneath, if that makes sense, I hope. I think I am going to hit this with just a little bit more crumb cake. So now we can take our card base, and I'm going to attach this piece first. Make sure that you have the writing right side up. You don't want a sideways, backwards folding card. Or maybe you do. You do you, my friends. What I'm going to do, just to get it so that it's the right size, and again, I was just experimenting with this because this one was a bigger piece. I think what I'm going to do is cut this out with the stitch rectangle I think I'm going to go one smaller just so that we have a little bit of the early espresso showing. I mean, I've already changed it up from my sample, so let's go big or go home, right? Now we are going to have a very different look this time, my friends. But that's kind of the fun of creativity, isn't it? Playing around and experimenting. I think this is going to be fun. And look how cute this paper looks with that texture on it. Creativity should be fun. You should feel like you're playing, not like it's work. Oh, I like that. Okay, so with the letters, I'm going to use my Take Your Pick tool. I'm going to lay them out, but I'm going to start with the T and work my way back. These S's just do not want to flip. Now this is a brand new bottle of Tombow, so I don't want this to come pouring out. Like I said, you could use the adhesive sheets. If you don't want to mess around with this, I would recommend it. And these letters just fit. It might be cute if you did the little asterisk down here too before the psst, if you want to give that a try. So now we are ready to put on our little labels. So I am going to use just some of my last bits of this dimensional sheet. Now I realize that this tag covers up quite a bit of our stripes, but I think that is going to bode well because this one is pretty busy. It's adorable, I think. Let me know if you agree. But it does cover up quite a bit of the stripes on this one. So this one I just glued. You could pop it up. The more dimensionals you use, the more difficult it is to mail and the more expensive it is to mail. And when you're looking at this card and you see the differences between so we've got the difference of this early espresso border in there. We've got the stitching around the stripes. We've got the missing stitch circle behind the cat. I would love to know which one is your favorite and why. Like for me, I'm loving this one. I'm loving having the stitching on both pieces here and then having that little early espresso kind of channel. But let me know which one's your favorite. Now there's something else I want to add here. A couple somethings. The sequins for everything are in the new mini catalog, and there are like 1,600. Oh, there's 3,600 of these in here. So I used those as my sequins. Stop trying to talk over the kind of squeaking. And I'm just going to add a couple little dots and apply some sequins only on the colored part of this. It is this gorgeous braided trim. If you remember, we had a crumb cake one like this. I don't remember if it was last year or the year before, but this one is a red one, and it's gorgeous. And if you would like to get your hands on a sampling of all the ribbons and papers and embellishments in the new catalog, I do have product shares. I will try to remember to add the link to my Google form in the description. You can go and sign up. You can purchase one, you can purchase two, you can purchase all three. And if you purchase all three, you get a special gift from me. And that is all of the specialty papers that are in the new catalog. If I have forgotten to put it in there, just give me a nudge to add it. I do not have a good memory. Nix that. I have a good memory, but for not the most important things. I can remember stupid stuff like what I was watching when I was creating something, but I can't remember the important stuff. I think it's mom brain that never goes away. And now I think old age is starting to set in and I'm getting like memory loss. Good times. Okay, that side's a little bit longer, but isn't it cute? She, I guess, she's wearing pink. So let me know which one you prefer for the fronts. And now I'm just going to do the inside super quick. So we have a piece of Whisper White that is 4 by 5 1/4, and I'm using Early Espresso, Real Red, and Crumb Cake. I'm using the Let's Cheer You Up from Lovely You. And if you want to see more ideas with this suite, I did just do my Facebook Live this last week using it. Had 3 different designs and they were all so much fun. And if you don't follow me on Facebook, and if you're on Facebook, head on over there, because when I do my weekly Facebook Lives, I do offer the cards to be mailed. Because otherwise I'm just ending up with a whole slew of cards sticking around. So my viewers, whether it be live or in the replay, can request that I mail them that card. The caveat is that I'm trying to clear space, so I won't make up more of that card. But if no one else has requested it, or if there's still one left, you can get your hands on it. And you get some Happy Mail in the process. And who doesn't love Happy Mail? I do. Okay, so we've got the hearts, but we've also got this little mouse. So I'm going to do that, and Crumb Cake just down here. You could put it up there too. I kind of liked him on the bottom and then the hearts down there. So I know this is using quite a bit of supplies, but like I said, if you are an avid crafter, you probably have these or similar products that you could use. So show me your creations. I would love to see them. Whether you email stampedaf@gmail.com, share them on Instagram or Facebook. I'm at StampedAF. I would love that. If you haven't subscribed, I would love for you to hit that big subscribed button below. And if you enjoyed this video, please consider giving it a thumbs up. Helps me reach more people and keep doing these weekly videos. If you have suggestions for projects you'd like to see, bundles you'd like to see me use, just send me a message or comment. However you want to reach out, just do that. And I would be happy to oblige if I have the bundle. So as I've said probably 4 times now, just let me know which one you like. Number 1, number 2. So the one that I made as my sample or the one that we made here now. I'm loving number 2. But I'd love to know your take. So thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you again soon, my crafty friends. Bye.